Hi everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I'm here to do your week ahead reading. And of course, I was halfway through this week ahead reading and my computer froze for some reason. I think it was installing an update because when I shut down the computer and restarted, it said update successfully installed, but it didn't tell me it was doing it. So anyway, sorry. But I was really grooving with it and I really liked it. So you're not going to see me. I promise. I shuffled up the deck. I randomly drew cards and this is what we came up with. I'm sorry. I like to show that process for transparency and blah, 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 but I'm just going to go with it because yeah. I'm also going to try and speak up a little bit. I have to talk a lot at my job and I'm a notorious voice loser, usually 2 times a season, although I think masking has actually helped with that because I haven't picked up any other bugs this year, which might cause laryngitis. But I'm really cognizant of it because my job depends on me being able to project my voice. So I'm going to try and speak up a little bit because someone commented last week that they were having trouble hearing me. So if that's been the case, I do apologize and I hope I do better with it this week. I usually try to rest my voice a bit on the weekends. Anyway, this week I'm using the Super Lunaris Tarot. It is brand new to me this week, thanks to my friend Brightleaf Tarot on Instagram. He's amazing. His posts are so beautiful. Look him up. Brightleaf, all one word. Well, Brightleaf Tarot, all one word, obviously, because it's Instagram. And I got this with a little bit of a discount because the box has a little corner ding. Like, who cares about a corner ding? I was so thrilled. This deck is worth every penny. I gasped when I looked through it. It's so beautiful. The pictures online, while great, I don't think do it really justice, even though they're beautiful pictures. It's just, you know, Canadian dollar shipping, blah, blah, blah. I was so grateful to be able to just bite the bullet and get it. So the cards I drew are, I drew 2 in reverse and 1 in upright position. So I'm just going to show them in upright first, just so you get a sense of the card, and then I'll talk about what I got. So the first was the Sun, and this is one that I drew in reverse, but that's what it looks like upright. That's what I'm looking at when I look down at my table. Then I drew the Magician in the upright position, so this is how I'm looking at it here. Now that I've talked about my voice, I'm all paranoid about it. See? Terrible. I really am. It's ridiculous. At least twice a season, I can't talk for 2 weeks. It's brutal. And then also in the reverse position, the 9 of Wands. Oh, sorry. I said I was going to show it upright first. There it is upright. And then so I really, I gotta reverse that. So I felt like this really strong message from it. So I'm just gonna get into it. It's gonna be a short video because you didn't watch me go through all my rigmarole. But the first card I pulled was the Sun in reverse. And so this tells me that something's not happy. Nothing's not going the way you want it to go in your life, if this reading is for you this week. And it could be something new that's come into your life. I sort of feel more like maybe it's something that's currently always been in your life, but it's just not going well at the moment. And I do also feel it's less of a work thing and more of a personal happiness, satisfaction thing that's just not clicking in the way you want it to click. Not giving you the fulfillment that it has previously or that you want it to give you. So that's the first card in reverse. And the middle card is this Magician. And boy, do I love this depiction of the Magician. Because it's like mid-work, right? Like mid-making something happen. But it's also very much meditative. Get a little bit closer there. But also very grounding. Like I do really like a seated magician. I like to... like when I can, and they're in the woods, like go and sit on the ground and feel the earth. Like I find that process really, obviously it's metaphorical, but it's also really physically practical for me. It really works. And in the middle of like going inside and figuring out what to do with this and how to like counter that, not conquer it, but how to make things happen. And this also really speaks to the beginning of something for me, because after you go through this meditative phase and you really like go into yourself and figure out what to do, there's probably going to be a bunch of mundane stuff you've got to do, right? It's not all just up in your head and all in that meditative state. Then you have to go and work and make it happen. It's the idea that there's like life and movement. Like I feel like I can see the intake of breath, the rising of the hands. Like this is very much something in process and something you're going to have to be actively involved in to take your upside down sun card and flip it right side up. That's what there we go. That's what we all want, right? Is an upright sun card in our life. And the third card here, I'll show it again upright first. The 9 of Wands. It was in reverse. And this says to me that to look outside of yourself for the reason for this is a trap. It's not the right approach, right? It's so easy and so tempting to do, to look at all the other mitigating factors in your life and say, oh, it's because of this. It's because of this. It's because of this. These things that are out of my control. But the fact that it's next to the Magician and it's in reverse, although of course I'm looking at them like this because everything's reversed on the camera, right? This is the middle card. This is the end card. It's not. It may feel like it, and it may be very comforting to think, oh, well, if it weren't for this external influence, if it weren't for that external influence that I have to be guarding against, that has literally wounded me, then this thing wouldn't be happening. And it's not to say that these things aren't influences, right? They always are. They always influence to some degree. But the solution, it's in you. It's not going to be looking at solving the external influences or just blaming the external influences for what's happening in your own life. And this might be a really literal interpretation of sitting down and lighting a candle if that's your jam, or meditating and just really doing some self-examination to see what you can do to change this situation. And I don't want to imply that there aren't times. I mean, people live with disease and food insecurity and things that are not their fault, right? Like legitimate things can come from the outside to upset you. I'm not saying, I don't believe that everything can be in your control all of the time. I have lots of benefits afforded to me because I'm like a middle-class white woman with a stable income, right? Like there are all kinds of life challenges I don't even have to think about because I lucked out in so many areas. But in this particular reading, it's not. It's a tempting trap to think it's coming from the outside, when really the work that you need to do is your own, and your own work. And you need to think about how to manifest to bring that sun back up into the upright position from where it currently came out in this spread. So short but sweet. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope this recorded properly this time. Again, I apologize for my many failings as a YouTube tarot reader. But I hope you enjoyed anyway, because I sure enjoy doing it for you. Have a great week. Oh, I should have said the dates. So what's today? The 21st to the 28th of February. This is the last week of February. We're going to start, my next reading will be focusing on a week that's a different month. So what better time to take stock of yourself, clear out some of that garbage, and figure out what you can do to make your life better in this week coming up, this last week of February. So I hope it's a good one. Bye.